Okay, next up we have Herman Cain explaining why he wants to basically do away or modify the First Amendment. It's regarding they want to build a mosque in this community in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They already have a mosque there, and they're trying to build, I assume, a bigger facility. And the community, many people down there are opposing it. They're claiming that the mosque is being built, that this is hollow ground, that this property they can't build a mosque on because the community doesn't support it being built. And Herman Cain, he agrees with them that they don't have a right to build a mosque in that community. So basically, any community in the U.S. could object to a mosque or even a church or a synagogue being built. In Michigan, there are Arab communities up there, and those Arabic communities could object to a church or a synagogue being built in their community. Let's listen to it.
You said this week that you oppose construction of a new mosque in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is close to Nashville.
Yes.
They have operated Muslim worshippers at another site there for more than 20 years. What's your objection to their building a new mosque?
One of my guiding principles, Chris, is that if you want to know the solution to the problem, or if you want to understand the problem, go to the source closest to the problem. I talk to the people in that community, and here's their problem, and I sympathize with them. Our Constitution guarantees separation of church and state. Islam combines church and state. They are using...
Islam combines church and state. So he's saying that Christianity and Judaism don't have any set of rules or laws that they adhere to. Christianity and Judaism doesn't have a Ten Commandments. They don't have other rules that they expect believers to follow. Is that true?
The church part of our First Amendment to infuse their mosque in that community, and
the church part of our First Amendment. What is the church part of our First Amendment?
People in the community do not like it. They disagree with it. Sharia law is what they're trying to infuse into our...
But wait a minute. Are you saying that we should ban all...
Building a mosque means they're trying to infuse Sharia law into our community. So when you build a church or a synagogue, you're not trying to infuse any set of laws into your community. You want people who come to the church to follow the laws and rules of that religion. That's the whole purpose of religion. To follow a certain set of rules and laws. It's not enforced by the government laws. But if they were trying to enforce, quote, Sharia law on the surrounding community, that would obviously be illegal.
Muslims from worshiping in this country?
No, I did not say that.
I know. I'm
not saying that. What I'm saying is American laws in American courts. That's what the people of Murfreesboro are saying.
So American laws for in American courts. So when they build that mosque, then Sharia law is going to be implemented in Tennessee courts? Where is the law that requires when they build that mosque, where is the law that the courts are going to have to follow Sharia law in the court system? Where is the law, Mr. Cain?
What people are saying all over this country. Well, Chris, I happen to also know that it's not just about a religious mosque. There are other things going on based upon talking to the people closest to the problem.
There are other things going on. So what you're saying is there are rumors of, quote, other things going on, and once you hear that there are rumors, then naturally you have to oppose. They can't build a mosque anymore because of these rumors. So any church or synagogue or mosque could be stopped. That they could force them to stop. That they could stop them from building in any community in the U.S. based on who people saying, "Oh, there are rumors that something else is going on in this mosque, so therefore, or church or synagogue, therefore you can't build it."
Not just a mosque for religious purposes. This is what the people are objecting to.
But I mean, they held a couple of rallies in 2009 and last year to support the Palestinians, including Hamas, in Gaza. This has gone to a county judge who says the people, he says that there may be a question about the open meetings rule,
Right.
but he said that the people who have brought suit to try to stop this mosque haven't been heard and that they have a right to build a mosque. I mean, my question,
Okay, so they held some political rallies supporting the Palestinian cause, and supporting Hamas, etc. So therefore, they're not allowed to build a mosque. So based on political beliefs, we have to exclude them from building a mosque or even a church or a synagogue based on political beliefs. Is that the part of the other stuff going on that Mr. Cain is talking about, or he didn't specify what he was really talking about, and he doesn't.
guess is this isn't ground zero in New York City. It's not hallowed ground. Don't Americans have a right of whatever religion under the Constitution, which you speak so much about, to free speech and freedom to worship?
To the people in Murfreesboro, it is hallowed ground. They are objecting to the intentions of trying to get Sharia law. Now, that judge may have ruled, but this case isn't over with yet. I believe it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. It's not hallowed ground.
They're objecting to the intention of Sharia law. What is that?
You speak so much about, to free speech and freedom to worship.
To the people in Murfreesboro, it is hallowed ground. They are objecting to the intentions of trying to get Sharia law. Now, that judge may have ruled, but this case isn't over with yet. I believe it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court.
They're objecting to the intention of Sharia law. So, attempting to build a mosque means they want to implement Sharia law. Is that the other things he's talking about? Building a mosque means they want to implement Sharia law in the surrounding community.
It's not hallowed ground. It's hallowed ground to the people in Murfreesboro.
But couldn't any community then say, we don't want a mosque in our community?
They could say that, Chris. Let's go back to the fundamental issue that the people are basically saying that they're objecting to. They're objecting to the fact that Islam is both a religion and a set of laws, Sharia law. That's the difference between any one of our other traditional religions where it's just about religious purposes.
That's Herman Cain's new definition. Islam is a religion and a set of laws. Christianity and Judaism doesn't have other laws, such as the Ten Commandments and other rules and laws. Those aren't rules and laws. No, not at all. Those are that's just a religion. The Ten Commandments has nothing to do with Judaism and Christianity. Not at all.
People in the community know best, and I have to decide with the people in the community.
So you're saying any community, if they want to ban a mosque?
Yes, they have the right to do that. That's not discriminating based upon religion against their particular religion. There is an aspect of them building that mosque that doesn't get talked about, and the people in the community know what it is that they're talking about.
All right.
Yeah, let's forget about their right to. They own that property, and let's forget about their right to build a mosque there. They don't have the right to use their property that they've built, that they've bought and paid for, and they're in fact actually apparently already building on, they don't have a right to their property because some other people in the community oppose them building it there, so that they have the right to take away the rights of the owners of that property. So the right to property is under threat. But Mr. Cain isn't concerned about that.
I don't want to beat a dead horse about one loss, but I'm just going to ask you one more question on this and we'll move on. Because this gets back to an earlier controversy where, as you know, you said that you're not comfortable with the idea of appointing a Muslim to your cabinet. As someone who I'm sure faced prejudice growing up,
Yes.
In the 50s and 60s, how do you respond to those who say you're doing the same thing?
I tell them that that's absolutely not true because it is absolutely totally different. I grew up, like you said, in the 50s and the 60s. I grew up before the Civil Rights Movement, during the Civil Rights Movement, and after the Civil Rights Movement. I went into corporate America when the openness to putting blacks and minorities in corporations, and I was able to move up the corporate ladder. We had some laws that were restricting people because of their color and because of their color only. That's what that situation was.
But aren't you willing to restrict people because of their religion?
I'm willing to take a harder look at people that might be terrorists. That's what I'm saying. Look, I know that there's a peaceful group of Muslims in this country. God bless them and they're free to worship. I have no problem with that. If you look at my career, I have never discriminated against anybody because of their religion, their sex, or origin, or anything like that. I'm simply saying...
He's never discriminated against anybody based on race, religion, or sex, or any other factors until today, until he started running for president. Is that what he's saying?
I owe it to the American people to be cautious because terrorists are trying to kill us. And so, yes, I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Oh, so he's saying he would be more cautious about letting Muslims in his administration. The other candidates, they wouldn't be cautious. But we need to look at make some kind of special effort to make sure that Muslims, that if you hire a Muslim in a Cain administration or anybody's administration, we need to make a special effort to exclude any potential terrorists. We need to be cautious. I mean, what is Mr. Cain really talking about? Naturally, any presidential candidate is going to vet anybody who comes into their administration. So just trying to energize a base, those who think that Muslims are against, most Muslims are against the U.S., or what is he really saying?
Rather than on the side of carelessness.
Okay, 2012.
Yes.
In the last month,
Yes.
forgive me for saying this, it seems that Michelle Bachmann has taken much